Welcome back to Thrifted Living. My name is Kieran. I would like to share with you another Thrift with Me video. I went to a few thrift stores over the weekend and I found some great stuff. So I would like to start by sharing some of the purses and wallets that I found. I have shared a lot of videos about my thrifted purse collection and how I have them organized, and I definitely love looking at the thrifted purses. I don't think that I bought any on this particular day, but I was definitely interested to see what they had. And I saw this bag. It reminded me of like 2006. I don't know if that connection makes sense to anybody, but I thought it was really neat. And I also found some bags for kids, I want to say, and I thought they were really sweet. They had one that was like a butterfly. I think there was maybe a unicorn and a dinosaur. I thought the dinosaur bag was really cute. I actually have another dinosaur bag at home. I also went and looked at the games and toys. Of course, you guys know if you've been following me for a while, I love the games and toys. And I saw this CNC, I think it's what it's called, and it just like made this memory in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, I totally remember those. I also found this color puzzle that was like Spanish and English colors, and it was like a big floor puzzle. And then this optical science game activity, not quite sure what that was. Then I saw these really cool like vintage toys. They were like, I don't even know how to describe them, like talking characters. And there was a Snoopy, a Teddy Ruxpin, and an elf. I thought that was really interesting. And then I saw some plush as well. I found this blue alien plush and I thought it was so cute, and I bought it because I just thought it was really, really cute. I might bring it to my classroom. I'm not sure. Just have it in my like nostalgic display in my craft room. I just thought it was really sweet. I also found some games for my classroom, and I found a game that is a word building game from the Lakeshore brand, and I love to have games like this to use with my students. I'm always trying to find more games to use with them with, learning different skills, and so I was really excited to find this word building game, and I found a lot of great stuff from Lakeshore in the past. Then I also looked at the other games. I also saw this like big light, which I thought was kind of cool, but I didn't get it because I did not know where I would put it. And I just was looking at the different games, and I always love looking at this part of this particular store because they have a really great selection. They also had a couple bingo games, and I thought those were really cool. And then at another thrift store, I saw some more games. My mom actually found a game from her childhood. I'll have to try to insert a picture of that so you guys can see. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but she was so excited to find it, and I was really excited for her because usually I find things from my childhood or, just things that are nostalgic for me, but she doesn't as often find that, so I was really excited for her to find something like that. And then this isn't a game, but it's something nostalgic. It's this really cute Little Mermaid bow, like in the original packaging. Not from the 80s, it's from like the late 90s, but I was still so tempted to buy it. Of course, I looked at the books, and I always find a lot of books for my classroom. I like to buy books for my classroom and for my niece and nephew, and they had quite a great selection on this particular day. There was actually a really big selection of coloring books, and I'm always tempted to buy coloring books as well, but I didn't end up buying any of these. But they had some really interesting ones. I actually think this Berenstain Bear book that I just showed you was from Dollar Tree, so it wasn't old. But then I saw this Casper coloring book, and that was from, I want to say 92? Yeah, 1992. So thought that was really neat. And then I found a biscuit, not a coloring book, but it was like a sticker book, and I guess the stickers were reusable, and I think Biscuit's really sweet. I have some of those books in my classroom, but I did not get that either. And then I was able to find one more coloring book activity book, and it was a Curious George book that was a little bit older. I can't remember the exact age of it, but it was pretty cool. And of course, so many different pairs of shoes. I love thrifting shoes, and I'm always tempted to buy so many pairs of shoes, but I'm really trying to cut down on the amount of thrifted shoes that I have because I literally have so many pairs of shoes. But I thought these sparkly sneakers were kind of cool, but they weren't in my size. That was the one thing about this particular day or days when I was thrifting. I didn't find a lot of things that were in my size, and especially the shoes. I was kind of a little bummed because I really loved to thrift shoes, but I really didn't find many that were in my size. But I also always look for my sisters and for my husband because we all love thrifting shoes. So I just, looking at the different pairs, saw those blue ones, thought they were kind of pretty. Of course, I love blue. Blue is my favorite color, so I was really tempted by those. And then I saw this really fun pair of tie-dye platforms. I wanted them so badly. Look at how cool they are. They are so cool, but they were not my size, unfortunately, but I thought they were so cool. I just want platform shoes and I just want to wear them all the time. Like I want Spice Girl platform shoes. Do you guys know what I mean? Like I want those and wear them all the time. Then I also saw some kitchen and appliances. I don't really know how to describe this section. It's a little bit of everything. It has like curlers and there's a light bright right there. There are clocks, but they also have like kitchen appliances and things that you can use. And I just saw some interesting things in this section. I usually find some cool like kitchen gadgets. Like right here, I saw this little mini pie maker. I thought about getting it, but I decided to hold off because I wasn't sure that I would use it. I actually did have it in my cart, but then I decided to put it back because I was like, I don't need it. It's not something I need. And I always find a lot of like cake pans too. My mom and I are looking for a lamb chop cake pan. I know it's random, but we're like hoping someday that we'll find one, but that hasn't happened yet. And then I saw this really cute little sewing machine. I think that brand is an Aldi brand. I'm not 100% sure. This is at another thrift store, and I saw a soft serve ice cream maker. I was really interested in it, but I knew I wouldn't use it enough to really justify buying it. And I also saw another baby cakes maker. It's a cupcake maker, and I hadn't seen that one before. I have like the donut holes and then the small donut maker, but I don't have that one. I also saw some records and DVDs, and I just wanted to show off this section of the thrift store because they've done a lot of renovation and like reorganizing, and they, moved everything around and it looks really good. And I saw this Cinderella record. I thought that was so pretty. And then I also saw this Mickey Mouser-size. Does anybody remember when that was on like Disney at like 6 in the morning? I don't know. I have so many memories of that. Saw this really pretty fall design. I don't even know what to call it, like a fall decor piece. We didn't get it, but it was really pretty. And they had a whole section of fall and Halloween items. My mom and I both like to thrift things for different holidays, and I'm actually thrifting with my mom in this part of the video. And so that's something we always sort of share a love for. We saw these plates. They were super heavy, like really, really heavy, solid plates. Then at another thrift store, they had a section of like fall and Halloween decor. They also had some Halloween costumes displayed there as well. I already have my Halloween costume. I'm going to be the fairy godmother, and my niece is going to be Cinderella. I actually shared that in a recent thrifting video. If you'd like to check that out, I'm going to be doing some DIYs with those costumes soon. Speaking of DIYs, this is like a homemade, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like this floral costume that had butterflies all over it. It was so cool. I didn't buy it, but I thought it was really neat. And then they had a whole cart full of Halloween costumes, and that bear costume was really, really interesting. I didn't buy it, but it was like a huge, huge costume. And I saw this cute little pumpkin outfit. I thought that would be really cute for trick-or-treating. And then the best costume was this costume. It was a peanut butter and jelly costume. I want to be peanut butter and jelly with somebody. I don't know who, but maybe I don't know who I could get to wear the other part of the costume, but I would definitely be the peanut butter side. I also saw some crafts. They have a really good selection of like patterns and things like that, and I always look in the crafting section because I usually can find some like colored pencils and crayons and things like that to use in my classroom, but I wasn't able to find anything like that. I've also really been interested in like crafting books. I've found some of them while I've been thrifting, and I always want to go through and do all of the projects. I think that could be really fun. And I also found some stationery items in this one part of the store, and I'm always like hoping to find a Lisa Frank binder or something in this part of the store, but I have not found that yet. Then I went to another thrift store and we saw some really cool furniture. I really like, you can kind of see it on the right side. It's this like really colorful table with different colorful chairs. And I think it's really pretty and just like funky and cool. It kind of reminds me of like Friends, kind of like sort of the colors in like the main apartment in Friends. And then I also saw this chair thing. I'm really not 100% sure what it was, but I thought it was really cool. And a couple different ottomans as well, and then also some plastic organizers that you can use. I think these are meant for shoes, but I just thought they were cool. I love to buy organizing items. Then I also saw some fabric, and this thrift store has like a whole selection of like tablecloths and napkins and fabric and bedding. I saw this like vintage Minnie and Mickey pillowcase that I thought was pretty. And I found some really great stuff at this thrift store in this part of the thrift store. Things that I've used in my craft room and in the spare bedroom, and even in our master bedroom as well. So really love this part of the store. I'm calling this part of the video miscellaneous. I really don't know how to describe this whole section, but it's kind of a little bit of everything. I usually find a lot of mugs and like glassware sets, also some like dining room decor, and just a variety of different items in this part of the store. I think they call it, I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's just like random stuff. Like it could be figurines, it could be holiday decorations, a little bit of everything. It's probably my favorite part of the thrift store just because you never know what you're going to find in this section, and my mom and I spent a lot of time looking through these different items. I always want to buy like kitchenware sets, almost like I want to buy like serving sets, if that makes sense. And I just always think about having like fancy parties. And you know, the funny thing is, when I just recently had a bridal shower for my sister, I had originally intended to use some of the kitchenware that I've thrifted over the years, and then everything just got away from me and I ran out of time, and I ended up using Dollar Tree items. So I was bummed because I had planned on, you know, using these thrifted items, but then I ended up just using disposable things. We usually find things in like several of like a certain style. So today we found a lot of fans, which I thought were interesting, like the fans that you like fold open. That was something we found a lot of today. We also, like recently I went thrifting and I found a lot of dinosaurs. And so it's just funny how you can kind of find the same things over and over again. I saw this really interesting pineapple. I thought that was cool. And I like how they have these sections organized like by different, like almost like in like rainbow order kind of, which is helpful when you're trying to look for something. And I always love to look in this part of the store and just see what I can find. I think, oh, I really like that Bon Appetit sign, but I didn't get it. I also love looking at the cookbooks and seeing what kind of fun cookbooks I can find. And then I also saw some really great selections of mugs at this particular thrift store. So then we also found some framed pieces of art, and we always love looking at those. I feel like we always find some great ones. And the funny thing is that my mom, when we were leaving the thrift store, somebody actually was taking items out of their car, and this really kind man just gave my mom a piece of art, and it was so sweet. It was just like the nicest thing, and it was like a really pretty piece of art, so it was a really cool, just like interesting experience. He was very kind. Then my mom also found this vintage pin the tail on the donkey activity, and we also looked at a display case, and I actually took some time and really looked in the display case because I feel like I'm always kind of rushing to, you know, pay and everything, and I don't want to, you know, hold the line up at all. So there was nobody behind us, so I just took a little bit of time looking at the different pieces of jewelry. And I have pierced ears, but I don't wear earrings like ever. And I'm always like, I should really start to wear them again, but I just never do. Then I found a bag of like swirly straws. I thought that was really cool. Didn't buy them, but I thought they were neat. And then a bag of beads as well. And finally, we found some clothing. I saw this really cool, what I think are a vintage pair of Rue 21 jeans. They were way too long for me, so I didn't get them. But if you can see the tag, I think they're vintage. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they're vintage. Then I also found a lot of these dresses. So these dresses were all like the same style, but in two different shades of blue. And I just thought they were interesting. I wonder what they were used for. I have a feeling they were probably used as like a bridal party, like dress for a bridal party. I just thought they were really cool. So the rest of this video is me showing you some clothing that I saw at the thrift store, but I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today as I went thrifting at a few different thrift stores. I also want to thank you all so much for all of the love and kind comments that you've been sharing on my recent video talking about you know, everything that I've been going through. I just truly appreciate your kindness. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!